Dear students, see in last lesson we studied about motion. Now this lesson we have to study about force and laws of motion. Okay. Now what is the simplest definition of the force? See, in our day-to-day life we come across number of instances where we require force. Suppose we have to move a table, okay, or to carry a bag, okay, to hit a ball by bat. See, all these instances we require a force. Now see, the simplest definition of force is a push or pull is called. Okay. Now see, before going for studying force in detail, we should know the basic idea about inertia. Now see, this word was coined by Galileo. Okay. Now let me define this, and then after we study about Galileo's experiment. Now see, the property of a body due to which it retains its state either at rest or in motion is called inertia. See, the another definition of the inertia is property of a body to oppose change is called. See, the inertia Gujarati word is interesting. All of you have heard it some point of your life. See, Gujarati it is called Jadetva. Okay, I am surely you might have heard this word. That is very interesting. Okay, think in your mind. You may have told to someone, or your parents may have told you. Okay, that is very interesting. Okay, that I do not want to discuss it more. Barabar? So, see, the property of a body due to which it retains its state either at rest or in motion is called inertia, or a property of a body to oppose the change is called inertia. Now, regarding inertia, Galileo made number of experiments. Now, see, in a simple experiment, now see, this is a surface with the slope. Okay. Now it is an ideal surface, that is surface without friction. Okay. Why? Because later on we'll study friction also. We'll see practically there is no surface which do not have friction. Okay, but he assumed that this is an ideal surface. Now this is one slope, this is another slope. See, when a ball is dropped from this slope, let us say height is h. Okay. Now he assumed that if both are frictionless surface, this surface and another surface is a frictionless surface, whatever height the ball comes down on the another surface, it will move to the same height. Let us say this also will be h. Now see, suppose we decrease this angle. Right now we assume that both angles are equal. So on a frictionless, that is ideal surface, say ball is rolled down from some height h, let us say, it will move up on the same height. Now see another experiment. What he did, let us say this is a slope theta, and on second slope, this is slope 1 and this is slope 2. He reduced this slope to 0, that is coming down. Then he assumed that now the same ball is released and allowed to fall, okay, move. See, with a frictionless ideal surface, okay, then this ball will continue its motion forever. Okay, this ball will continue its motion forever. But we know this doesn't take place in our day-to-day life. Okay, why? Because we'll see every surface has some, between any two surfaces, friction always exists. Okay, we can try to minimize the friction, that we'll discuss later on, but this doesn't happen. So from this, see, if I consider motion of this part only, okay, the body continues motion. So Galileo suggested, in absence of any force, see, the body continue its motion with constant velocity. Okay, so this was Galileo's experiment, but we know in practically this doesn't happen. Why? Because after some time some force will act, okay, and finally the body will stop. So see, from the inertia we have seen that the body tries to retain its position, okay, either at rest in motion. But see, what we observe, that suppose we apply a force on a body, okay, now in absence of any force the body will continue its motion with a constant velocity. But if I consider another situation, let us say, see, a block is placed on a surface, okay, in apply the same pull on both sides, then also the body do not move. Okay, then what we assume, whatever force acts here, same force acts here. See, that we say is a balanced force. Okay, that we see is a balanced force. But see, the property defined by the Galileo, I told Galileo was the first one who coined the word inertia. So that is a property of a body to oppose the change or retain its state is called inertia. Okay, our Newton's first law of motion has similar wording but slight difference. What is that difference? That we have to see. Now this, just now we are talking of this, a block is lying on a table, we apply similar pull, okay, the block doesn't move. But at the same time, see, a spring is like this, we give force on both sides, okay, if these two forces are not equal, the spring will expand. See what will happen? See, the length will change. So what has become? These two forces are not equal, then only this will happen. Okay, so that is called unbalanced force. Now, to make it more clear, we define these two forces, balance the forces and unbalance the forces first, then our work will become very easy. Now say here, see, a block is there, see, the block of uniform cross section, see, all four sides we apply equal force, okay, so we see that it doesn't move, okay, it doesn't move. So here, see the number of forces are acting on a body, but see the resultant of these forces is 0. So we can write like this. See, it is a balanced. Now how do we define balanced forces? See, we can write like this. If body is subjected to number of forces, but resultant of these forces 0, then such forces are called if the body is subjected to number of forces and resultant of all these forces is 0, then such forces are called balanced forces. Now, see, next is the unbalanced force. Let us say a block, one side is 10 unit force, okay, what we see here, resultant is not 0. So we can say, see, if body is subjected to number of forces and if resultant of these forces is not 0, then such forces are called okay. So if the body is subjected to number of forces and if resultant of these forces is 0, then such forces are called unbalanced force. Now what is balanced force? See, the body is subjected to number of forces but resultant of these forces is 0, then such forces are called balanced force. This is about the unbalanced force. Now, see, the word unbalanced has lot of significance. Now, see, for clarity, I write Galileo's law of inertia again. See, a body at rest will remain at rest and body in motion will continue. Okay. Now, see, a body at rest will remain at rest and a body in motion will continue its motion. Now see, our Newton's first law of motion. See, unless an unbalanced force act, a body at rest will remain at rest and body in motion. Okay? You can see these words are similar. See, a body at rest will remain at rest and body in motion will continue its motion. See, what is the change here? See, these wordings are important. Okay? Unless an unbalanced force act, a body at rest will remain at rest and body in motion will continue its motion. So from this we can say the force or unbalanced the force is an external agency which can change the state of a body. Why? See, the Galileo law of inertia says the body at rest will remain at rest, body in motion will continue its motion. But see, whenever an unbalanced the force acts, okay, the state of a body can change. So from this we give an important physical quantity that is called force. So sometimes we should know, they ask, see what is outcome of the Newton's first law. Okay, what is outcome of the Newton's first law of motion? So see, Newton's first law of motion defines force. Okay, Newton's first law of motion defines force. Okay, now that is the outcome of Newton's first law of motion. So force is a physical quantity, or we can write in this way also. Force is an external agency which can change state of a body. Okay? Force is an external agency which can change the state of a body. Why? See, it can bring the body at rest to motion and body in motion to rest. So we can say the Newton's first law defines force. Now once again, see what is Newton's first law of motion? Unless and unbalanced the force acts, a body at rest will remain at rest and body in motion will continue its motion. So we can say the Newton's first law of motion defines force, or force is an external agency which can change the state of a body. Now we have come to know that a force is an agency which can change the state of a body. Okay. Now we have to see what are effect of the force on a body. Okay, what are effect of force on a body? So one by one we can discuss. See, first, it can bring body at rest. Okay. Secondly, it can bring body in motion to rest. Now see the first effect of force on a body. See, it can bring a body at rest to the motion. Now see, a football is lying on the surface, okay, or football is lying at rest. You kick it down, see, it will come to rest. Okay. Now suppose a ball is lying on the surface. Okay. Now see, you can kick it from here also. See, if your leg reaches to that much height. Okay. So a ball is lying on the ground, a football is lying on the ground, you can kick it and bring it to motion. So that was the first effect. The force can bring body at rest into motion. See, second, it can bring body in motion to rest. You will see number of examples. See, a bowler balls the ball, the batsman applies, gives a plate so as to stop. Okay? Or when a batsman has hit a ball, see, a fielder catches and bring it to rest. So second effect of the force is that it can bring body in motion to rest. Third, it can change direction of motion. Okay. Now see, you know very well, see the Virat Kohli, your favorite. See, a baller's ball down, it gives a cover drive. See, the ball is coming straight, but he gives a cover drag. So what happened? Changes the direction. Okay, changes the direction. So third, it can change the direction of a motion of a body. Okay, and the fourth effect, it can change shape of body. Okay, see all of you. I am hoping that you will be knowing Gujarati also. કે તમને ખ્યાલ છે કે તમારા ફ્રેન્ડ્સ કે ક્લાસમાં ગમે ત્યારે કંઈ બહુ મોટો ઝઘડો થઈ જાય, બરાબર, ધનાધની થઈ જાય તો તમે શું કહો? મોંનો આકાર બદલી નાખીશ. હા, મોંનો આકાર બદલી નાખીશ. That is nothing but change in the shape. Now see another example. See, a spring is there. You apply a force. Okay, so length will increase. That is a change in the shape. Or you studied in the science property of a metal. Okay, see the malleability and ductility. Malleability beaten down to sheets. Suppose a metal piece is there. Okay, by some process તમે એને ટીપીને પતરા બનાવી શકો. Okay, that is also change the shape. Or a copper lump is there. See, by a copper wire drawing machine, it is converted in the wires. Okay, so that is also change in the shape. See, there are number of examples. All of you know about the forging. કે લુહાર હોય છે, લોખંડનો ટુકડો હોય એને ટીપી ટીપી અને જેવો શેપ જોઈએ એને બનાવે છે. So these are number of examples, okay, there where change in shape takes place. So this is all because of the force only. So what are the effect of the force on a body? See, it can bring body at rest. First effect, it can bring body at rest to motion. Second, it can bring body in motion to rest. Third, it can change the direction of the motion of the body. It can change the shape. So we have studied number of things regarding the force, regarding the inertia and the force. Now, first we talked about inertia. See, that is a property of a body due to it opposes the change. It's called inertia. See the another definition. The property of a body due to which it maintains state either at rest or into motion is called inertia. See, the Galileo was the first one who coined the word inertia. Now, see, inertia we written like this, we have seen like this. See, if a body at rest, it will remain at rest, and body in motion will continue its motion. But with some changes, we saw that when a balanced force act, see the change of state of a body can change. Or we have seen like this Newton's first law of motion. See, the unless an unbalanced force act, okay, the body at rest will remain at rest and body in motion will continue its motion. So we can say the Newton's first law defines physical quantity called force. Or force is an external agency which can change the state of a body. See, it can bring the body at rest into motion. It can bring body in motion to rest. Third, it can change the direction. And the fourth, that is your favorite, it can change the shape of the body. See, these are the effect of the force on a body. Now, see, this is about the Newton's first law of motion. Okay, but the first law did not say or do not say anything about the magnitude of value of the force. For that, we should know about the second law. So remember, see, the first law defines the force, second law gives the magnitude or value of the force, and the third law we'll see later on that it says the forces are always in pair. Okay, that also we'll discuss in brief. But right now we have to know about the magnitude of the force. Okay, but before that we should know about an important physical quantity called momentum. Okay, now this one is new for us. See, the momentum is denoted as P. Okay, see, the product of mass and velocity of a body or an object is called momentum. Okay? The momentum is denoted as P, small p, mass is m, velocity is v. Okay? The momentum is product of mass and velocity. Okay? Now unit will be, see, whenever we come across a new quantity, okay, we should ask or we should know about the unit. Now mass unit is kilogram, velocity is meter per second. Okay? Another unit is Newton second, that we'll see later on. Okay? Product of mass and velocity of a body is called momentum. Now, see, the momentum is product of mass and velocity. In physics, see, the momentum is more important than velocity alone. Okay? Momentum is more important than velocity alone. Now we take a simple example. Okay? Now suppose we are given an instant in which we have information regarding the velocity alone. Okay? We have. Now suppose, see, a vehicle is moving. See, I am using the word vehicle. Okay? Now see, it is moving with a velocity of, let us say, 10 km per hour. Okay? That is 10 km per hour. Now, right now, I am not talking about the mass. Okay? I am using the word only a vehicle which is 10 km per hour. Okay? Now, and see, you are moving on a bike, or you are fond of bike, okay, with a speed of, let us say, 100 km per hour. Okay? See, and a vehicle is coming in just your opposite direction. Okay? Now, see, your velocity is 100 km per hour, and the vehicle which is coming in opposite direction has velocity of only 10 km per hour. Now you think, oh, my velocity is very large, so if there is a collision, this will be easily thrown out. Okay? This will be easily thrown out. Okay? Then you are very happy. But let us say same instant you again are moving with the velocity of 10 km, 100 km per hour. See, another vehicle is coming with the velocity of 5 km per hour. Okay, I am using the word vehicle. Okay, again. So what happened? You say collide. Oh, this is nothing. My velocity is 100 km per hour. This is 5 km. Easily thrown out. Okay, so far I have talked only about the velocity alone. Nowhere the mass of the body is coming into action. But consider a case. See, the first vehicle, okay, is a bicycle. Okay? Huh? And second vehicle is your road roller. Okay? Now what will happen? See, the bicycle, or with the person driving the bicycle, see, the mass will be very less. Okay, let us say 100 kg along with the bicycle. So what happened? See, the momentum, mass into velocity, 10 into 100. Thousand. But see, the road roller, all of you have seen it, is a massive or very large mass, that is 50,000 kg. Okay. Now see what is the product of mass and velocity here. 50,000 into 5. Okay. Now see, you will not think of colliding with him, or you not want to like with an accident. Why? Because you will be easily thrown out. Why? Because it is more momentum. So earlier we did not had any information. Okay, we had only vehicle with the speed only. This road roller and bicycle also we are not knowing. Only velocity 10 km per hour and 5 km per hour. Okay, okay. But now see here. Here also you thought that your speed is very large 10 times. Here also you thought the speed is very large 20 times. So first instant when you are knowing mass, not knowing about mass, you are the sure winner. Okay? No problem. But what happened when you collide with the road roller? 108 बोला ऊपर से. Why? Because the road roller is, though is a very less velocity, momentum is very large, so can give you more crash into you, okay, and get more force. So that means that in physics, when we talk of force, only velocity is less important. Momentum is more important. Okay? So this is about the momentum. See that how it is important in knowing about the magnitude of the force, that we'll see in the Newton's second law of motion. But see momentum again. See the product of mass and velocity of a body is called momentum. Momentum is mass into velocity. Mass is in kg. Velocity is in. Here we have seen that how momentum is more important than velocity alone. Okay. See, next time we'll discuss Newton's second law of motion and proceed further. Thank you.